An Indiana chapter of Moms for Liberty, this parents' rights group that has become pretty big, it's nationwide now over the past couple of years, has been forced to issue a sort of apology eventually over the fact that in one of their publications they quoted Hitler. Yes, that Hitler, actually. You can take a look at their newsletter right here, and on the right-hand side, "He alone who owns the youth gains the future." Adolf Hitler, just thrown up there like it's a quote from Carl Sagan or something. It's just a person that you quote or whatever. And they even have references to hate groups below that. They don't seem that concerned with quoting the hate groups. Now, on the backlash to this was pretty quick. And they initially put out a response, but it was like more defensive than anything else. They said context. The quote from a horrific leader should put parents on alert. If the government has control over our children today, they control our country's future. We the people must be vigilant and protect children from an overreaching government. Okay, so if anyone thinks it's weird that they just quoted Hitler, you're the bad guy. They were just using it as an example of overreaching government. Well, that did not actually placate a lot of people. And so eventually they put out what seems like a pretty good apology compared to that, saying we condemn Adolf Hitler's actions. And you know you've done a good job when you have to start a sentence with we condemn Adolf Hitler's actions. And his dark place in human history, we should not have quoted him in our newsletter, and we express our deepest apology. So that specifically is a good apology, but it's coming from a group that ran a Hitler quote. That's America.
Yes, two things about this. One, when you're going to put that quote up, didn't anybody think, best case scenario, hey, we need some context around this quote. Otherwise, it looks like we just put up a quote of Hitler and are like, yay. Like there's no context saying, hey, that's a bad thing and we think our opponents are doing it. It's just a thing on our website where you're like, oh, okay, Benjamin Franklin, Adolf Hitler got it, right? Like, no, so that's incredibly knuckleheaded move, okay? Number two is, look, when we first heard the story, it seemed like they were quoting Hitler positively, like approvingly. And I said in the production meeting, I don't think so. As crazy as Moms for Liberty is, and they are nuts. They're the ones that go and threaten the teachers and call them groomers, totally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm like, no, you gotta be like Nick Fuentes, kind of trying to get online celebrity, weirdo, Nazi to positive, or Kanye, to positively quote Hitler, right? So they probably mean, oh, our opponents are Hitler. And it turns out that is what they meant. Okay, that's better, okay? But in reality, what are they doing? They're going to they're trying to pass regulations about what propaganda the kids see in the schools. They say, no, we don't want you to teach like the country was racist and that affected our institutions, that those are things that are true. We don't want you to teach things that are true. Now the propaganda we want you to teach is there is no racism. And don't worry about it, black people never had to suffer under it, they don't have to suffer under it now, so they should be happy with whatever we're giving them. Oh, and gay people don't exist. But wait, they do exist. No, we're gonna say they don't exist because facts are not important. Propaganda is important because he alone who owns the youth gains the future. Yeah, don't quote Hitler if you're doing what he did. Not everything that he did, but that particular quote. So that's my word to the wise.
Okay, so they didn't do it on purpose. They're still dippy. These broads are so dippy, and at this point, they're stealing my oxygen and that of my puppies. They just need to sit down and go away. It's just, no one saw that, no one flagged it. Not one person said, you know what, Marcy? I don't think we should do it that way. I think we should perhaps maybe do a different quote. There's plenty of other people who can talk about indoctrinating children and the good of the youth and protecting them. They're just dippy. And they just make me so sick every time I see one of their smiling faces because they actually, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, believe that they're doing something positive here for the greater good of American children, certain children.
Yeah, and I'm sick of the war on teachers. I'm sick of it. And they're the primary culprits in that war. Like, oh, the real problem is the teachers and their facts. No, man, we gotta go attack them, all right? Let's call them pedophiles. What? Like the teachers who actually care and spend their own money to buy the kids like notebooks and stuff that they need. You're not gonna attack the bankers. You're not gonna attack the donors. You're not gonna attack the powerful. You're not gonna attack the people that are ruining this country. You're gonna attack the teachers and baselessly call them pedophiles? And then you're gonna pretend the other side likes Hitler. Please, do some self-examination, which is of course impossible because they just don't have the capacity.